What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Thursday, the 14th day of November in the year 2024. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here is what we're tracking tonight. With their information already in the government's database, public servants and pensioners will be the first in line to receive that one-off $100,000 cash grant starting this month, President Irfan Ali has announced. Appearing on a new government-produced program in the seat on Wednesday night, President Ali assured that public servants and pensioners will receive their cash grant before November comes to a close.
Before the end of the month, the easy data sets like public sector employees, the pensioners, all of that will easily be paid off.
The grant will be paid via check. Additionally, the president said the government will be collecting data from the ground to capture eligible Guyanese who are not within the government's database. Citing an example, he explained that from this weekend, data will be gathered from Region 9 and will be inputted into an electronic system using an app. He said once the data is processed, the checks will be processed for the persons in that area. According to President Ali, Guyanese will be in receipt of the cash grant before the end of the year. In an attempt to clear up some misconceptions relating to the grant, the president also clarified that the one-off cash grant is not intended to replace the annual increases offered to public servants.
I've already said that before the end of the year, the public servants' annual salary increase will be paid out, retroactive, like normal. The joint services, we introduce their bonus. We don't take away benefit, we give benefit.
The opposition has been highly critical of the government's approach to the cash grant, which is intended to cushion the impact of the rise in the cost of living here in Guyana. The People's National Congress Reform, the Alliance for Change, and the Working People's Alliance have all said the move by the president to scrap the administration's initial plan of giving each Guyanese household a one-off cash grant of $200,000 and replacing that with a $100,000 cash grant targeting adult Guyanese who live in and out of Guyana is reflective of the government's inability to plan effectively. Former Finance Minister Winston Jordan, who served under the David Granger administration, had argued that a $100,000 one-off cash grant would be more impactful, capturing a wider group of people. President Ali said in a democracy the government listens, and while the initial government strategy had a clear path, it was prepared to listen to the people and act on appropriate recommendations.
Like a good team, the cabinet, we decided that a more effective approach would then be to give $100,000 to every person. And it takes courageous leadership. It takes sensible leadership. It takes responsible leadership. It takes dignified leadership, not people who try to steal election. It takes dignified leadership to then say to the public, we have heard you, we know this is going on, because you have to be plugged in.
The government is now expected to approach the National Assembly soon for funding to finance the initiative. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Are you ready for GuyExpo 2024? Join us from November 14 to 17 at the National Exhibition Center. Experience an exciting array of local products and services, live entertainment, delicious food, unique crafts, a dedicated children's zone, and so much more. The expo begins at 6 p.m. on November 14 and at 2 p.m. on the following days, and a special opening from midday on November 15 to accommodate our school children. Tickets are just $500. Children under 5 are free. Call 219-0087 or 219-0089 for more information, or visit GuyExpo.gy. GuyExpo, Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy.
Let's tell you now that the Guyana Police Force has noted a sharp increase in some categories of crime, but has indicated that overall, serious crimes have seen a 14.4% decline so far for this year, when compared with the same period last year. The update was given by Crime Chief Wendell Blanham earlier this morning as the police force unveiled its Christmas security plan.
Overall, there were 175 less serious crime reports recorded for the current period 2024 when compared to the previous period in 2023. Notably, there were decreases in 6 out of the 10 categories of serious offenses. We have witnessed declining trends for the offense of murder. Last year, we saw a spike in murders, largely due to the unfortunate incident that took place in Madio.
The crime chief said the most prevalent crimes in Guyana, break and enter, and larceny, also declined during the period. However, the force has noted an 11% increase in gun robberies, while robbery with aggravation increased by 33%. Additionally, reports of rape went up by 8.3%, while burglary cases increased by over 15%.
Collectively, or taken as a whole, the effects of these crime statistics led to a 14.4% reduction in serious crime reports for the current period when compared to the period last year.
The crime chief was quick to point out that the crime statistics do not indicate that there is no crime taking place in the country, adding that over 1,000 serious offenses were recorded so far for this year alone, as opposed to 1,200 in total last year. The highest number of criminal activities were recorded in regions 4 and 6, which the crime chief described as unprecedented, noting that there was never such a situation in that part of Berbice was competing with the Police District 4A, which covers Georgetown. Berbice saw almost double the amount of gun robberies when compared to last year, and Region 3 also saw an increase in serious crimes. The U.S. non-immigrant visitors visas for a number of persons who were all suspected to have used the same consultant to complete their visa application forms have been revoked on suspicion of an alleged visa racket and the use of false information in the preparation of the visa applications. News source understands that in the past few weeks, a number of persons who were preparing to travel to the U.S. found out that their visas had been revoked after they were prevented from traveling at the Chedijagan airport and told to visit the local embassy. According to sources familiar with the reports, most of the persons reportedly utilized the services of a Western Marara woman who operates a visa application consultancy to complete their visa applications. The woman is suspected to be involved in an alleged visa racket that possibly involves someone who is closely linked to the local embassy. It is also suspected that she knowingly inputted incorrect information in the applications. Contacted for a comment on the issue, the Public Affairs Department of the U.S. Embassy here in Georgetown stated that due to privacy concerns, it does not comment on specific visa cases. The embassy, however, reminded that it regularly encourages visa applicants to complete their own forms to ensure accuracy. The U.S. Embassy would offer no other comment. Many of those who had their visas revoked have been reaching out to the airlines and travel agencies seeking refunds for their airline tickets. On the U.S. immigration law, a consular officer, the Secretary of State, or a department official to whom the Secretary has delegated his authority is authorized to revoke a non-immigrant visa at any time in their discretion. However, a consular officer may only revoke a non-immigrant visa on the basis that the visa holder is not eligible for the particular visa classification, or if he or she is found ineligible for a visa under one of the inadmissibility provisions of the Immigration and Nationality Act of the United States. Just last year, the U.S. Embassy here in Georgetown said it had noticed an increase in the number of third-party preparers for U.S. visa applications. In one of its acts the council features on its website, the embassy said persons should avoid those visa consultants who offer to improve an applicant's chances of qualifying for a visa by entering false information on the visa application. The embassy reminded that false information can disqualify an applicant and make that person permanently ineligible for a U.S. visa. Although fatal accidents appear to be on the decline this year, Traffic Chief Mahendra Singh worries that there could be an increase as the year winds down. He's urging all road users to practice safety and caution. A total of 99 fatal accidents have been recorded so far for this year.
What you see happen is out of the 10 years, 7 substantively had 100 and more fatal accidents. What you recognize though, for 2021, 2022 and present day, we would have had significant decreases. For 21 and 22, there were decreases tangible to less than 100 on completion of those years. For this year, while we will at the end of it enjoy a significant reduction from last year, we will not be able to achieve, at the rate things are going, less than 100 fatal accidents and correspondingly less than 100 fatalities.
Speeding has accounted for the majority of those fatal accidents, followed by inattentiveness and use of cell phones and other forms of distractions. The traffic department has also noticed that most of the fatal accidents occur on the weekends, specifically Fridays and Saturdays, between the hours of noon to midnight. For this year, some 41 motorcyclists have lost their lives on the country's roadways, compared to 48 for the entire of last year. Additionally, 26 pedestrians have died on the roadways for this year, when compared to 37 last year. The traffic chief also explained that the majority of the accidents involve private motor cars, motorcycles, and motor lorries. He revealed that there will be a need for more traffic ranks, as there are now more than 116,000 registered vehicles on Guyana's roadways.
New and emerging housing development lend to a need for improved traffic engineering, be it signs, signals, or road markings. And there is an insufficiency which puts a significant strain on the already limited available human resources.
The traffic chief said there is a need for better use of the roadways, and he has promised that there will be additional ranks monitoring the use of the roads in the coming days.
The Guyana Elections Commission GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GECOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GECOM website at www.gecom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Turning our attention now to the agriculture sector. With the sugar industry bleeding billions of dollars in losses as sugar production remains a record low, President Irfan Ali has expressed confidence that the sugar company GuyExpo can make a comeback. In a television interview last evening, the president said there is no question that the industry could be made viable again. The sugar industry, which has been on a downward spiral since 2006, has been bugged by administrative, technical, financial, and human resource problems. But even with the sugar industry set to record another dismal year this year, the president is seeing a brighter side.
Outside of that, we have to bring in technical capability to support what is there. And we have a team from India, for example, working now. We have a team from Cuba that is working on the field and in the factory. Not doing studies, working to help us to build back the system, improve the system, bring efficiency to the system at the field and the factories.
The president said since taking office over 4 years ago, his government's investments in GuyExpo have been geared towards reopening of the closed sugar estates and making fields and factories ready to work again.
So we have to have an infusion of those who have done this successfully with our local team so that we can have that knowledge transfer, and we have to develop a new culture in the industry. We have to also develop a new culture and create a winning culture. So that is also important, and that is why this period of rebuilding would have challenges, but we have to embrace it if we want to make the industry successful.
The Guyana Agricultural and General Workers Union GONW recently raised concerns over the state of the industry, especially with its low production. The Agriculture Minister was recently ordered to compile a full report on the industry and present that report to the President. The Guyana Power and Light Company has signed a contract with a joint venture car Powership Global and UCC Energy International for the rental of a second power ship. The additional power ship comes with a total installed capacity of 75 megawatts, and the contract is for a period of 2 years. In a statement last evening, the power company explained that the second power ship will be based in the Demerara River, and in the first phase, 60 megawatts will be dispatched to the grid in approximately 6 weeks, followed by an additional 15 megawatts of power once works are completed on an additional transmission line. Under the contract, GPL is required to pay the joint venture 8.52 US cents per kilowatt hour as a monthly charter fee for the powership, and the monthly operation and maintenance fee of 0.98 US cents per kilowatt hour based on electricity generated. GPL will be responsible for providing heavy fuel for the operation of the generators on the powership. According to Kesh Nandlal, the head of GPL's Executive Management Committee, the signing of the agreement marks a critical step in continuing to bolster the company's power generation. The powership is expected to be connected to the national grid within the next 6 weeks. Antonio Neto of UCC Holdings acknowledged the urgency of connecting the powership to the national grid and his company's commitment to meeting the agreement's timelines. Meanwhile, Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Deodat Indar, also attended the signing ceremony, and he emphasized the importance of the arrangement and timeliness, given the country's rise in energy consumption. He also spoke about the demand of the transmission and distribution network and urged GPL to ensure that timely maintenance activities are carried out to prevent unnecessary outages. Senior Minister with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, said the rental of the second powership is crucial to meet the immediate growing electricity demand in the country. The first powership to be rented is currently based in the Berbice River. Guyana's largest trade fair and exposition, GuyExpo, is opening this evening at the Sophia Exhibition Complex, with more than 300 exhibitors being featured. The event is bringing together scores of businesses and organizations to showcase their products and services. Communications Manager at the Ministry of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Cordell McClure, said this year's event is expected to offer more to patrons than previous events. He explained that the companies, organizations, and government agencies that are being represented at the event will be showcasing their best.
We have more exhibitors, more sponsors, and we expect more patrons. Last year, we had just about 250 exhibitors. This year, we have just over 300. As of yesterday, we had 283, and we've added some more, so it will exceed 300 for 2024. Last year, we had about 80,000 patrons coming through GuyExpo. We anticipated an additional 20,000, so we expected to go beyond 100,000 this year.
A number of companies from the US and Canada, China, Barbados, and Grenada are also in Guyana for the event. Mr. McClure said the event covers several sectors, including housing and homemaking, technology, agriculture, medical, and the food industry. He also reminded that the event is family-oriented.
Sunday night is going to be the night for pan. All the major steel pan bands in Guyana will be here on Sunday night. So it's going to be a dynamic event. You have family activities, you have entertainment, you have food, we have 2 food courts, and you have all 300 exhibits to go through. And I want to encourage Guyanese, when you come, walk the entire compound, right?
The curtains will come down on the event, GuyExpo 2024, this coming Sunday night.
Are you ready for GuyExpo 2024? Join us from November 14 to 17 at the National Exhibition Center. Experience an exciting array of local products and services, live entertainment, delicious food, unique crafts, a dedicated children's zone, and so much more. The expo begins at 6 p.m. on November 14 and at 2 p.m. on the following days, and a special opening from midday on November 15 to accommodate our school children. Tickets are just $500. Children under 5 are free. Call 219-0087 or 219-0089 for more information, or visit GuyExpo.gy. GuyExpo, Guyana on show, the fastest growing economy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
GECOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gecom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Across the region tonight, Caribbean National Weekly reports that Dominica is set to bestow its highest national honor, the Dominica Award of Honor, upon Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the country. The prestigious award will be presented during the upcoming India-CARICOM Summit, scheduled to take place here in Guyana between November 19 and the 21st. Dominica's President Sivani Burton will preside over the ceremony. The award highlights Modi's significant support to Dominica, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Under his leadership, India donated 70,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine to Dominica in February 2021, playing a critical role in the nation's pandemic response. Prime Minister of Dominica Roosevelt Skerritt expressed his gratitude, emphasizing that the award reflects Dominica's deep appreciation for Prime Minister Modi's steadfast support during the difficult global health crisis. The Pan American Health Organization PAHO reports that approximately 5,100 people in the Caribbean die annually from HIV-related causes, with 1/3 of cases diagnosed at an advanced stage. The alarming statistics were central to discussions at the regional workshop titled Uniting Science and Communities to Accelerate HIV Response in the Caribbean. The workshop, organized by the Ghana-based Pan-Caribbean Partnership Against HIV and AIDS PANCAP, aimed to address the critical issues by fostering collaboration between scientific experts and local communities. The goal is to enhance early detection, improve treatment access, and ultimately reduce the impact of HIV in the region. The director of PANCAP spoke of the unique challenges and urgent needs the Caribbean faces in dealing with the situation. PAHO's advisor for HIV, STI, TB, and viral hepatitis, Caribbean Sub-Regional Office, Sandra Jones, said while the Caribbean has progressed with HIV prevention and treatment services and innovations in HIV service delivery, the region did not achieve the 90-90-90 targets. Data from the 2024 UNAIDS report indicate that the Caribbean is not poised to achieve the 95-95-95 targets in 2025, and Jones said this may affect the ultimate goal of ending AIDS as a public health threat in 2030 in the region. And finally tonight, international news. The BBC reports that the number of people dying from drug overdoses in the US has decreased, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. In a new report, it said overall overdose deaths declined by roughly 14% between June of last year to June of this year. It's an encouraging sign, experts say. Overdose deaths had been on a steady rise since the 1990s, with a jump during the pandemic, according to data from the CDC. More than 108,000 people died from overdose deaths in the 12 months leading up to both June 2022 and 2023. But by June this year, that number had dropped to 97,000. Some of the states that saw the largest rates of decrease were North Carolina and Virginia, along with Ohio. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable night.